John Dewey was an American psychologist, philosopher, educator, social critic, and political activist. He started his career at the University of Michigan. In 1894, he became the chairman of the Department of Psychology and Pedagogy at the University of Chicago. John Dewey made influential contributions to nearly every field and topic in psychology, and his role included being a primary creator of both functionalist and behaviorist psychology. Dewey ranks with the greatest thinkers. David Cobb is a professor of organizational behavior at Case Western Reserve University and received his PhD from Harvard University. Beside his work on experimental learning, Cobb is also known for his contribution to thinking around organizational behavior. He has an interest in the nature of individual and social change, experimental learning, career development, and executive and professional education. David Cobb is the inspiration for a large number of theorists. His learning style includes perception and processing. According to Cobb, learners perceive and process information in the following way: through concrete experiences, being involved in a new experience, reflective observation, while watching others or developing observation about one's own experience, and abstract conceptualization, creating theories to explain observations, and active experimentation, using theories to solve problems and make decisions. In the mid-1970s, Peter Honey and Alan Mumford adapted David Cobb's model for use with a population of middle and senior managers in business. They published their version of the model in the Manual of Learning Styles and Using Your Learning Styles. Two adaptations were made to Cobb's experimental model. Firstly, the stages in the cycle were renamed to accord with experiences of decision-making and problem-solving. The Honey and Mumford stages are having an experience, reviewing the experience, concluding from the experience, and planning the next steps. Jean Piaget was born in Switzerland, and after teaching he became interested in how young children constantly gave wrong answers to certain questions. This led to how children's thought processes are different to adults. This started his journey on the focus of development of thinking. Piaget describes learning through stages of development: the sensomotory stage, 0 to 2 years, the pre-preparational stage, 2 to 7 years, and the concrete operational stage, 7 to 11 years. Piaget's work has also influenced the curriculum through hands-on concrete experiences as learners actively construct their own understanding. Erik Erikson, a developmental psychologist, believed that the primary motivation for human behavior is social and reflects desire to connect with others. He viewed developmental changes occur through our lifespans, that people have the same basic needs and depend on the quality of support from the social environment, from parents and caregivers. Development happens through stages, each characterized by a crisis. This allows opportunities for development. Lev Vygotsky was born in Belarus and was a Russian psychologist that viewed children learn through social-cultural theory of development, language together with social and cultural influences on the child's developing mind. Vygotsky's concept is known as the zone of proximal development. The influence of Ivan Pavlov is felt keenly in many areas of contemporary psychology. Pavlov was born in Russia and obtained a degree in animal psychology in 1875. He pursued a career in psychology and as part of his research caused a turn and opened the field of what is known as classical conditioning. During the 1920s, classical conditioning began to be used as foundation for learning theories. B.F. Skinner, who carried out experimental work mainly in comparative psychology from the 1930s to the 1950s, remained behaviorism's best-known theorist. He developed a distinct kind of behaviorist philosophy which came to be called radical behaviorism. He also claimed to have found a new version of psychology science, which he called behavior analysis, or the experimental analysis of behavior.